They were caught and they were brought before the magistrates. And the magistrates actually beat Paul. That's what it says in verse 22. The magistrates tore off their clothes and commanded them to be beaten with rods. Now, it was not the work of the judges to tear the clothes of someone who's been brought for justice. They need to command. After seeing if there is an error, then they can command punishment. But the magistrates do something illegally. They tear off the clothes of Paul and Silas, meaning the enemy was so angry with Paul and Silas. In spite of they being in the center of God's will, they were beaten with rods. They were put in the prison. And they were put in the innermost prison. But the scripture says in verse 25 and 26, but at midnight Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. And immediately all the doors were opened and everyone's chains were loosed. Amen. So it was a midnight. We can also take it spiritually. It was a midnight hour of life when everything seems to be dark around you. You have done the right thing. You have not done evil to anyone. You have even done things in the will of God, but you feel like you're suffering. You can still have access to the spring of joy through praise. Amen. Amen. Paul and Silas, they started singing hymns to God. Hymns are songs of thanksgiving. Hymns are songs of praise. I believe they would have sung of what God has done this far, the revival that has been happening in Philippi. And even before that, His great calling upon their lives for choosing them as apostles and evangelists and using them as vessels for His power to flow through, and for what He is going to do in the days to come. And more so, they should have also been praising God for who He is. No matter how dark the situation, God is still God. He is still on the throne.